Welcome to the Astral Weather Report for December 19th through 24th. I'm Jeremy Gene Wilson with the Light Army, and I come on here every 6 days to share with you the cosmic astrological influences over our human behavior. Every time there's a shift in the astral weather, it affects the way you think, the way you feel, the way you process and store emotions, the way you interact with others, the harmony in your relationship dynamics, everything. So rather than it be a distraction, a disruption, or something that creates confusion, I want to share with you how to leverage this, how to use it to your benefit so that it's helping you achieve your outcomes and your goals instead of a distraction. So this next 6 days, the theme is authentic alignment. I know it sounds crunchy, sounds like some coach talk, but it truly is all about authenticity, rhythm, and alignment. It's about being yourself, right? Don't self-correct. Don't try and fit in a box. Don't take off your backwards hat because people might think you're unprofessional. Don't do anything to fit the mold. Do not try and shrink or change yourself. That's what this energy is all about. So definitely heading into the holidays, you might be around family. It can be easy to shrink and change our behavior, act different at grandma's table versus around your friends, whatever that might be. But this week, kind of what to expect mentally and emotionally, this week really highlights authenticity, self-acceptance, self-approval, self-image, self-worth, and your relationship with rhythm. So some of you might feel pressure to fix yourself, or you might feel judgment. Any kind of a judgment or name calling or identity labeling, that kind of thing might affect you at a deeper level. And it can create tension between who you are and who you think you should be, right? Who you've been and who you're becoming. And you are not obligated to be who you were 5 minutes ago. So you might feel some guilt around energy levels, around your habits, or inconsistency in some capacity where your past identity or your conditioned identity is at war with who you know you're born to be and who you want to be, right? So you might feel a desire to regulate your emotions, your behavior, identity, fit the mold, don't ruffle the feathers, don't rock the boat. You might just notice some subtle internal friction in some capacity. Am I living in alignment or trying to manage outer perception? It's the difference between authenticity and performative vanity, right? So anyway, this week will not reward you if you try and self-correct. It rewards self-trust and authenticity. The reason this is the sun has moved into or is moving on the 19th into the 10th signature. This is gate 10 in human design. It's all about authentic behavior. It's about self-love. In the I Ching, we call it treading, right? So in a detriment or a distorted way, this can show up as people-pleasing, seeking validation, moral self-policing. Oh, I better not use that word. It's all about performing righteousness or rightness. It's about performative, like I mentioned. So the way to align is just, there's nothing worth the cost of your self-respect, right? You should not have to earn peace and approval. So just any moral self-policing or performative behavior at all is the opposite of what you want to be doing. Show up authentically, act from your inner truth. And the core lesson from gate 10, from the 10th signature, is just like integrity is what creates stability. You don't need to adjust who you are to move forward. I would rather be 100% hated for being honest and integral than being loved for being something I'm not. So that's the core lesson. The earth has moved into the 15th signature. So gate 15 human design, it's all about extremes, the natural rhythm. In the I Ching, they call it modesty. There's a lot of confusion around this energy, but it is very powerful. The distorted way this shows up is exactly, you start overcorrecting your habits, right? Overcorrection instead of offset, trying to force balance, just a little bit more rigid self-discipline or self-expression. So the alignment is just like, what rhythm can you maintain? Whether you're away for the holidays and you're outside the scope of your normal regulated environment, how can you honor your natural pace on the micro and the macro? How can you allow rhythm to stabilize itself? What are your standards, whether you're away from the office, away from home, or you're not, right? Balance is the thing that naturally emerges as a byproduct when you stop trying to control. So I won't go too deep on this. I want to keep it short and simple, But the things to avoid this next 6 days, just self-monitoring, moralizing your behavior, putting on a mask or a front. If you say fuck, say fuck. Be who you are. Be one person instead of compartmentalizing your different roles and perspectives. Obviously, I say that in jest because when you're around kids, you want to set a better moral example and things like that. But my point is, do not shrink. Do not become someone else or wear a facade, right? Don't try and force balance through discipline. Don't guilt shame yourself or anybody else. Don't adjust your pace to match others. Don't adjust your standards, your beliefs to match others, and don't do shit just to be liked or accepted. Don't. How do I say this? I'm stumbling a little bit here because it really does come down to that. There's authentic and then there's everything else. So being consistent in the way you show up in certain settings versus just being yourself gives everyone else, just be yourself. You give everyone else permission to do the same. So the way to really leverage and anchor this energy is just trust yourself as you are. You don't need to improve. You are improving. You're becoming the identity you were born to become, but give yourself a little bit more acceptance and allowance of what you are, the good, the bad, the ugly. Let your natural rhythm set expectations. Don't force anything. Alignment before productivity. If it's not a full body fuck yes, and you have to change, you have to bend, you have to stretch, you can't say what you're really feeling, then let go or be dragged, right? Only make decisions that feel clean. Don't do anything to impress others. You have nothing to prove to yourself or anybody else. So my biggest lesson with this is just be self-pleasing in the presence of others. Be your favorite company. When you're with others or with yourself, make sure that you are your first friend. The greatest way to really leverage this beyond that is just like, what's a should? Where are you shoulding? Oh, I should do this and I should do that and I should. Remove one self-imposed pile of should this week. Notice where you correct yourself unnecessarily. Just align your commitments with your real energy, not some idealized energy, right? Let your authentic expression and let your authentic self guide your decisions before logic. Choose consistency through acceptance of who and what you are, not force. And remember, most importantly, where you are is not who you are. The positive qualities that make you you, that make you good company to yourself, be that, but don't bury the parts of yourself that others may not value, right? We need every color in the crayon box. So just ask yourself some questions, internally this week. Where am I trying to fix myself instead of trusting myself? Where do I feel broken, like I need to change, instead of just accepting that's a part of myself, right? And externally, how would my relationships change? What would be different if I stopped adjusting my rhythm, adjusting my expression, adjusting my personality to fit others? I think that's really the lesson this week teaches us, leading up to Christmas, the 19th through the 24th. So last thing I'll share, close out 2025 with gratitude. Get clear on the identities you want to embody in 2026, the standards you're going to require to set to know that you're embodying that identity that will allow success to be undeniable and an absolute easy byproduct of anchoring an identity, setting a standard, and taking action before 2026 gets here to prove some evidence to your mind that you are already in momentum to become that version of yourself. In the new year, you will have access to the official community where you can gather with people that have been in our ecosystem for a long time and some that are new, where we cover soul science. If you want to make more money without selling your soul and have access to the tools to help you grow, whether it's as an executive, a professional, or an entrepreneur, your communication skills, branding, marketing, sales, systems, recruiting, the things you can do to make more money, to be more productive, to have a sense of high mindset and skill set tied to strategies that make that sustainable. If you want to decode your genius and connect deeper to your purpose, operate with more fire, more enthusiasm, more fuel, more charisma, And if you want to be a part of a community of people who are living from their truth, honoring their body, disciplining their mind, nurturing their emotions, showing up in service to society, not just getters, people that are actually giving light to the world, expanding their prosperity, and shining their soul as the authentic expression of them and compassionate service to the world. Yeah, that's the community we're building. It's not just some coaching container. It is a movement of men and women that want to deepen their connection with others and step into a higher version, a higher identity of who they are now and become who they were born to be. So thanks for letting me pepper you with some cheesy, crunchy coach talk and letting you know what to expect in the astral weather this week. I'm really looking forward to stepping into a higher practice of integral leadership for myself. That's what you can expect of me this next year, to lead by example, to do what I say I'm going to do, and offer the support and impact that I'm here to provide the world. So in the meantime, remember what you are. You're not your thoughts. You're not your emotions. You're not your past. You are in charge. You are the soul in control. You are the light. Breathe easy, infinite love, shine the fuck on. Merry Christmas. Happy New Year. Bye for now.